For me personally, one of the best feelings in the world is the rhythm game dopamine you get after seriously grinding for a new top play on Osu. If you sat down with 17-year-old me right after I set this play on June 5th, 2018, and told me that this would be my last top play for almost 7 years, I would probably ask you what drugs you're on, because in 2018, I low-key thought I was chocolate cookie Z. All these years later, I believe I have unfinished business, and I feel like I'm more than capable of setting a better play than this dog shit score on Make a Move from ages ago. And it's really funny, bro. This score was submitted at 2 p.m. You know I got this shit fresh off the school bus. Today, we will be documenting my journey back to the top on Osu. The top of my personal leaderboards, that is. My ass has decayed for years, bro.
Chapter 1, 2016.
In an attempt to build a more interesting story, I want to briefly go through my history with the game Osu. Please feel free to use the timestamps if you aren't trying to listen to my circle clicking lore. So my Osu account was created on July 20th, 2016. I feel like Osu is one of those games you usually don't end up playing it on your own. For me at least, I was introduced to Osu by someone showing me the game. At this point, my only rhythm game experience was Guitar Hero 3 on the PS2 from when I was like 10 or something. I was so fascinated with that game on the highest level, which around the time was like Through the Fire and Flames and Soulless 3. But I could never get Guitar Hero 3 PC working properly, so I didn't really get around to grinding that game seriously. It's hard to remember exactly how it went down because this was ages ago, but I guess once I started playing, I just kept playing and playing, and it really didn't take me long to fall in love with this game. If you aren't familiar with how this game works, you're essentially just aiming, in my case with a mouse, but many players prefer to use a pen and a drawing tablet, and then you're clicking on your keyboard when this hit circle lines up with the actual note. Unlike Guitar Hero / Clone Hero, where you either hit the note or don't hit the note, your timing / accuracy is an extra factor. With each note, you can receive a 300, which means you timed the note correctly, a 100, which means you were either a little too early or a little too late, or a 50, which is just shittier timing than a 100. Each map is given a number ranking based on difficulty, and throughout this video, you'll hear me refer to the number of stars a difficulty is. Factors like the amount of stars and your accuracy are some examples of how you are awarded PP, which is the game's main ranking system. Late 2016 was my first experience with Osu, and this is the period of time where I have the least documentation. I imagine just like everyone, I started out playing some Gerber Baby 1-star maps. By October 2016, it looks like I was playing around the 2 to 3 star range. In November 2016, I was able to snipe the name Akame right when it came available. Akame is the main character from the anime Akame ga Kill. Osu holds a special place in my heart because there's so many anime I've watched and there's so many songs I've listened to that I never would have discovered without playing Osu. You can literally see in my 2016 screenshot history the exact moment I became an obsessed weeaboo Koreaboo hybrid. I was gonna show a screenshot, but it's so fucking cringe, bro. There's absolutely no chance you ever get this screenshot from me. I'd play that dumbass Chug Jug map before leaking this screenshot, bro. But yeah, I don't even know why I changed my name to this. I gave Akame ga Kill a 7 on my anime list, so it's not even like I've been obsessed with the anime ever since discovering it. Copying this name just kind of felt like an OG Xbox 360 gamertag moment, but Weeb edition, I suppose. I haven't touched my name or picture since changing it, and it's kind of baller. Every now and then I get an email about someone trying to sign into my account and finesse my name. Yeah, I got motion like that. Someone tries to log into my account once every 3 months. Come on, we don't have to cause a scene about it. December 2016 to this day is still the most I've ever played Osu in a month, with more than 3,000 plays submitted. I started getting FCs on 4-star maps. I was improving at a pretty solid rate. However, I ended up improving a little too fast.
Chapter 2, Banned.
On January 30th, 2017, my account was restricted for cheating. I had convinced myself that I wasn't really interested in playing this game anymore, and it was just a couple-month phase, so I decided, why not, bro? Let's mess around and set some crazy-ass plays. I remember buying an aimbot hack, and I started going crazy, setting top play after top play. I was dead-ass the best player in the world for 30 minutes. It was kind of fire. I set a bunch of smaller plays that no one really cared about, and then I decided it would be a good idea to snipe the fuck out of Cookie Z, the best player in the world at the time. He had a no-mod FC on the map Blue Zenith, and I FC'd it with double time. Yeah, no big deal. I kinda set the first 1K PP play in 2017. I'm kinda different. I was finessing for a little bit, but after submitting that score, my shit was iced instantly, bro. I guess getting banned was the goal, or at least the expected outcome, but was it worth it?
Chapter 3, The Grind.
No, it was not worth it. It seems that I regretted my decision to cheat pretty much instantly. On March 2nd, 2017, I had already submitted an appeal crying for my account to be unrestricted. I just miss being able to socialize with the Osu community. Oh. Good talk. But yeah, they told me there was nothing I could do until I wait at least 6 months, so I gave up on trying to appeal, but I still continued playing. It's so weird, bro. This has me wondering, if I hadn't gotten banned, would I have ended up playing as much as I did here? Because to this day, 2017 still might be the most Osu I've ever played in a year. I'm not about to fact check that, but it's pretty close. Despite being banned, I just continued playing and practicing and submitting scores that didn't count for anything besides my own enjoyment. This is what my scores were looking like early February 2017. My top play was 4.85 stars, some absolute big dog shit. And then from February 2017 to September 2017, I don't have any footage of my gameplay because I wasn't recording stuff back then. And I don't have any replay data for anything before January 2023, which makes me kind of sad because there's so many replays I'd love to watch. But a perk of being the only person still using Gyazo in 2025, I can peep everything I've ever screenshotted. It was around this time I started playing more 5-star maps. I have a bunch of screenshots of maps from around 5 stars to 5.5 stars. I was setting plays around the 150 to 180 PP range. September 2017 is when I started recording clips of my Osu gameplay, with bangers such as Hakone good run until I shit my ass. Probably my greatest video to date, bro. September 28th, 2017, I set my first 200 PP play on CBCC. And then the next day, bro, well, that play didn't even last 24 hours. 234 PP. That's a lot of PPs, bro. I have an email from September where I'm like, hey, it's been 2 months since the 6-month point. I'm not unbanned yet. What's good with that? They told me my appeal would be treated in the coming month. And it got treated in the coming month, bro. They were not fibbing about that. But they actually told me to fuck off again, bro. After almost 9 months of playing the game consistently while restricted, they still didn't have enough proof that I wouldn't reoffend. I missed being able to set plays and gain ranks. You know, everyone loves seeing that number after you set a play. It's super satisfying. So in November 2017, I started playing on an alternative server called Ripple. Ripple is one of many alternative servers for banned degenerates like myself. I really enjoyed my time on here because the ability to gain ranks from top plays again really fired me up. One thing about this server / site that is really cool, you can actually download your old replays straight off the site. I deadass just watched my Ripple top play from 7 years ago. How nuts is that? I feel like that's some ancient shit that I shouldn't even be able to get my hands on. I really wish you could do this on the main server because like I said, there's so many replays I wish I could watch. And speaking of replays, I was a big Cookie Z fanboy. I took a lot of inspiration from him, you know? And a lot of times he'd be streaming no mic, just gameplay only. And so the only form of communication you'd get out of him is if he was talking to someone on Osu or when he would draw on the map after something cool or funny happened. There was this one where he drew a question mark for whatever reason, and I freaking loved that one, bro. I found a bunch of replays of me just drawing a question mark. I must have never had a freaking clue what was going on, bro. I was writing question marks on everything. And there's also some really bad ones where I'm like trying to write shit in Japanese or Korean. Like, bro, come on. What could this possibly say? I bet I didn't even know what this meant at the time. I was just writing shit. I ended up playing on Ripple up until January 9th, 2018, the day before my account got unrestricted.
Chapter 4, My Peak.
Almost a year later, on January 10th, 2018, my account finally got unrestricted. Where were you when Akame got unrestricted? I remember I was in my 11th grade study hall playing Mario Kart 8 on my Switch with my boy Ben when I got the unban email. I was so happy, bro. I'm pretty sure I used to lie and tell people that I cried, but I don't think I actually cried. But it was definitely an emotional moment for me. Throughout 2017, I grew to love this game, and having the ability to set scores on my actual profile again, it meant everything to me at this time. And yeah, it's safe to say this is when I not only peaked in Osu skill, but also peaked in weebness. I remember back then they diagnosed me with stage 5 weebitis. When I got home from school that day, I instantly began setting as many 200 PP plays as I could. This is a picture of my profile from February 10th, 2018. This line's kind of hard as f, bro, I can't lie. Update 131.18, because I had so many people I had to update, bro. It took me 3 months to get 3,700 PP on Ripple. I have surpassed that in 3 weeks, LOL. I don't know, bro. That kind of has some aura to it. That kind of goes hard. By April 2018, this is what my top plays were looking like. More and more 200s. We had a few 250s. 2018, I was literally obsessed with Osu, anime, and K-pop. I was quite the candidate for someone's nightmare blunt rotation. On my mother's life, bro, I used to sit there in study hall with my Apple earbuds in and just listen to My Hero Up to You on repeat for the entire 40-minute study hall. I don't know what to tell you, bro. That shit got me fired up. Why would I ever do actual work in study hall when I could just listen to an Osu song for 40 minutes? I don't know what to tell you. It just made sense to me at the time, you know? I fucking wish I had my old Snapchat. It's such a tragedy I deleted it, bro. I was a little Snapchat demon with my Osu scores at this time. I remember so vividly the snap I put on my story when I FC'd Marizu with Hidden. Hold on, I'm dead ass gonna make a fake Snapchat of exactly what it looked like. Hold on, peep this. I just FC'd Marizu with fucking Hidden. April 2018, I had the best accuracy I've ever had in my life. I got that Marizu play and a Sakura no Uta FC with 1-100 within 40 minutes of each other. On April 13th, 2018, I FC'd Lanada's difficulty of From Undercover Caught Up in a Love Song, worth 258 PP at the time and worth 271 PP now after some reworks. To this day, this still might be my best FC, I'm not sure. On June 5th, 2018, I set this hidden hard rock play on Make a Move, and at the time it was worth 290 PP, but after there was a change to the PP system, this play got buffed to 302 PP, becoming my first ever 300 PP play. This is a disgrace of a top play, bro. It's so lame. Even though this is my top play on my profile, I never, not once, rated this as my best FC. Not long after this play on June 20th, 2018, I reached my peak rank of 14,844 global. I then just started playing a lot of other games, and there was a steep decline in my play count. I went from having a play count of almost 3,000 in February to play counts in the hundreds in the later months. I think this was due to a combination of some burnout from playing the game so much, along with experiencing some wrist pain from being a little jit just clicking a shit ton of buttons the last few years. I finished 2018 with low play counts for the rest of the months, and I didn't end up setting any more notable scores.
Chapter 5 Jumping Hearts.
It's kind of nuts how my play counts line up for 2019. This year I was in my senior year of high school, and I tried so hard to be popular and make people like me. During this part of the school year, I barely played any Osu, and I tried to stray away from my weeb tendencies. But right after I graduated, boom, 1,000 plays in June. And then out of nowhere, on July 7th, 2019, I set one of my best scores to this day. Worth 300 PP at the time, my Azora Jumping Hearts FC on the top diff is a very special play to me for many reasons. Being one of my few good plays, if not my only good play in 2019, this score showed me that I wasn't washed and I still had good scores in me. It also showed me that I'm capable of setting a real 300 PP play, which was a milestone I had only reached due to the PP system changing. I low-key pulled up out of nowhere and dropped the 300, which was kind of gas. And speaking of the PP system changing, dates are a pain. I didn't look too hard into this. Within 3 minutes of research, this is what I found. On September 24th, 2020, my Azora Hearts FC is still worth 300. On January 25th, 2022, it's now worth 286 PP. And then there was another rework at the end of 2022, which brought it up to 291 PP, which is where it sits at to this day. So basically where I'm getting at is over the span of a few years, I went from having 0 300 PP plays to 1 to 2, and then back to 0. Awesome. After the Jumping Hearts FC, I didn't set any other notable scores in 2019. I think it was around this time period where I invented and started implementing what I like to call no business tech. I would play maps or play with modifiers that I had absolutely no business playing. I would set a dog shit score, but the next time I played that map, I did a little less dog shit, you know? And I had a little more business playing it than I did the last time. This form of practice has its obvious positives, you know, practicing stuff above your skill level, playing stuff out of your comfort zone. It's a no-brainer. But at the same time, it had some negative effects on me. An example is recently when I started derusting, I was confused and maybe even a little delusional about where I left off in regards to my skill.
Chapter 6 My Last Good Score.
September 2020 was the last time I set a score I was really proud of. This era was really weird for me. In this era, I felt like I was better than I was in 2018, but without the obsession for the game, I was unconsciously way less capable of setting scores. To piggyback off the no business tech topic, this is the period of time where I probably utilized it the most. September 2020 would be the last time I ever had a monthly play count over 1,000. 2020 was my filthy DT era. All I played was speed and burst maps that I had absolutely no business playing, but I think this little DT arc contributed heavily to my improvement. I find it so interesting, bro. I would say my current skill level is made up from the years of hard grinding for FCs, along with the many recent years of mainly playing stuff out of my comfort zone. Once I derusted, pretty much everything I was playing before I was able to play again, except for the stuff that I played in this era. There's speedy shit I was playing in this era that I just wasn't as fast on, and I had to build that back up. The way you gain speed and get good at these kind of maps is just by playing them over and over and over again. This play I'm about to show you and then Jumping Hearts, I should have recorded recorded them just for history's sake, you know? To me, the lack of replays recorded represents my interest for the game fading. On September 24th, 2020, I set an HDDT FC on my hero, the Insane Diff. This play was worth 271 PP at the time, even with the dog shit ack, but this was later nuked all the way down to 231 PP. I guess that makes sense because of the 94 accuracy, but this map's so fast. I think it's 250 BPM or something. It was a miracle I even FC'd this because I remember it still being too fast for me at the time. It's like still too fast for me to this day, but I don't know. I guess I just locked in, bro. I would set a few other scores in 2020, but that was kind of it for me. With my interest for the game continuously declining, along with less and less practice, that'll do it, bro. That's enough to make a fella washed.
Chapter 7 Washed.
The period of time that I'll be referring to as the washed era spans from January 2021 all the way to the beginning of December 2024. I feel like I've been nonstop yapping about play count this, play count that, but I'm gonna keep yapping about it because this next bit is so fascinating to me. Here's my play counts for 2021 and 2022. For the entire year of 2021, I logged only 1,040 plays. And then in the following year, I had even less with a 2022 play count of 776 plays. That's a total of 1,816 in 2 years. I have so many months where I played more in that month than these 2 years combined. The part that's so cool to me, like you don't understand how cool this is to me. I don't think my gamer brain could articulate how cool this is to me. Besides November 2017 and December 2017, where I have play counts of 0 due to me playing on a different server, no matter how little I was playing, there's not a single month where I logged 0 plays. I can't remember playing at all during this time, but I guess I've always just been drawn to this game. Whether I was aware of it or not, I still played every single month. Whether it was the record-breaking play count of 1 in November 2023 or the close competitor of 2 in June 2024, I always logged at least 1 play. It just made me happy to see this because, I don't know, for me, this just kind of puts emphasis on my love for the game. Bro, I don't know how someone could yap so much about them not playing a game. Fast forwarding to 2023, where I would have my last little play count spike for quite a bit of time. This is the first time I actually realized how washed I was. 2021 and 2022, I can't imagine I was doing much more than playing casually, but 2023 I was low-key trying to set some plays and I didn't have it in me anymore, and it was really freaking sad for me. 2023 and 2024 were very similar for me in the sense that I wanted to set plays again, but I was really washed. However, there was a bit of a difference in my mindset during these years. In 2023 it was more like, damn, I'm washed, that sucks, let me just play really hard. In 2024 though, it bothered me a lot more. For the last 2 years I dedicated a lot of my time to practicing Clone Hero, which is the popular engine for modern day Guitar Hero play. I've made some really good friends in the community, and I'm mentioning this because over time I learned there was a lot of crossover between Osu and Clone Hero. Many of my friends have a history of playing Osu, some of them even reaching higher peaks than myself, and so naturally, as someone formerly obsessed with Osu, hearing about this stuff would perk my ears up, bro. It had been so long since I had friends to talk Osu with, so it was really refreshing and really exciting for me. However, there ended up being one massive problem. I was fucking washed. I'd yap about Osu with friends here and there, and then we'd be like, yo, let's get a little squad together, let's run up some multi. And whenever we'd run multi, bro, it actually broke my heart. I understand the reality of having a problem like this. Like, oh no, bro isn't good at clicking circles anymore to his weeb songs. Oh no, what a tragedy. How will he ever bounce back from this one? I know it sounds so stupid, but it just goes to show you how much this stuff means to me. I remember a few multi sessions where I just couldn't hit anything, no matter what it was. I couldn't hold combos anymore. I couldn't maintain good accuracy. If anything, it felt like I was going out of my way to see how dog shit of accuracy I could get. Like, actually, no joke, for every 10 notes, probably 6 or 7 of them were 100s, which again means my timing was off. Every time I would play, whether it was with friends or on my own, I would leave every session just crushed because of how dog shit I was. It got to the point where I was just genuinely convinced that I was permanently washed and I would never be good at the game ever again. And for someone like myself who just has so much love and passion for their hobbies, this was a fucking tragedy to me, bro. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't waking up in the middle of the night like cold sweating thinking about the hundreds I was getting earlier. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, it was definitely tough.
Chapter 8 The Return.
Remember when I said December 2016 was my most played month to this day? Well, it was, until this happened. If you gave me the opportunity at the beginning of 2024 to look into a crystal ball that shows me what I'd be up to 12 months later, and I see myself de-rusted and grinding for my top play on Osu, I would be like, okay, what the fuck? How did we end up here? Like, I really don't think we can chef up the odds for this shit, but me ending up becoming obsessed with Osu again, me fiending to set a top play again, and me coming up with so many ideas for Osu content, it's actually unbelievable. I've been living it every day for almost 2 months now, and it's still so unreal to me. This happening had to be less less than a 10% chance, bro. Despite the unlikeliness of how everything played out, in a way, it feels like it was fate, which I know sounds kind of cringe to say, but I'm just being real with you, bro. My 2024 was all over the place, and so this happening out of nowhere, it just made me really, really happy. So how did this happen? How did we go from 62 plays in October to 84 plays in November to 2,650 plays in December, followed by an all-time high for me of 4,033 plays in January? So around July 2024, my friend Reptar started playing Osu. He dabbled a little in 2023, but he was basically new to the game. I'm like an NPC, bro. Every time I see someone new playing Osu, I'm always like, ooh, I see you are playing Osu. I used to play Osu. That shit just perks my ears up instantly. He went from essentially a new player to playing 5-star maps pretty quickly. We ran up some multi here and there. Nothing crazy initially, but I went from barely playing to actually running up some multi here and there. As we moved into early December, there was a new factor present that we have to talk about. For the first time since 2022, I was prescribed Adderall again. And it's so fucking funny, bro. I remember this one night we were playing multi and I was so fucking drunk. And after playing Added Up for the last 2 weeks or so, I had a moment where I was like, whoa, wait a second. I'm like low-key derusting for the first time in 4 years. I had myself laughing so hard because I've tried so many times to derust over the last 4 years, and then I start taking Adderall for a few weeks and boom, I'm derusted. But don't get it twisted. It wasn't like, oh, I've never played Osu in my life. Let me take this Adderall. Oh, I can suddenly play 7-star maps. You know, we had years of putting in work. It's so funny how everything fell into place. This was my Spotify Wrapped. I went from barely listening to anything besides Under My Skin by Avril Lavigne. Out of nowhere, I started listening to a lot more K-pop than I had in ages. All of a sudden, I'm playing a lot of Osu again. I was on the website trying to find new maps to play, and I downloaded this map. When this song started playing, I had to stop for a second. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a freaking banger, hello? And then I swear it happened overnight, bro. I look at my Discord profile and I see this. My first thoughts are, holy shit. It happened overnight. I was cured for years, but I caught the virus again after so long. But then I realized, I was like, oh my God, I'm actually going to set a 300 PP play. If it's ever going to happen, this is the best shot I've had in 7 years. Bro, there was like a week period where this was the only thing I listened to. It was actually like 200 plays in a couple days. It was so bad. Being able to play Osu at my peak level again has brought me so much joy. I'm always yapping about Osu to my friends, even though some of them aren't really grinding the game like that anymore. So there's been days where I felt bad because I'm just adding up yapping, telling them over and over again about how happy I am and I never thought I would be good at the game again. Throughout the entirety of 2024, not for a second did I ever think I could set a new top play. But once I got the tiniest glimpse of what was possible, I started putting in so much work. When I was younger, I was really dumb and I didn't know there were things like speed practice maps and external programs that allowed you to alter the map's BPM. When it came to playing maps on double time, I kind of just assumed you either had the sauce or you didn't. I don't know what I was thinking, bro. I was acting like motherfuckers were coming out the womb single tapping 270 BPM. That's just not how that shit works. You gotta build it up, you know? I must have thought one day I'd be playing the 5.5-star Dream Soloster and then go to bed and wake up the next day and be like, oh yeah, I'm actually ready to slap DT on this. But yeah, I've been practicing every day for almost 2 months now. I've been taking this shit so seriously. So another big passion of mine is rock climbing, and dead ass every single day before every session, I've been doing the wrist/finger portion of my stretching routine. I'm low-key an unk, bro. I'm turning 24 soon. In rhythm game terms, I'd low-key be considered a senior citizen. Like, you could probably check me into a retirement home in a year or two. I cannot afford any wrist or finger pain now. And it's really interesting to me, my approach to improving as a 23-year-old versus when I was 16, 17. These days, I feel the smallest amount of sensitivity in my tapping fingers, I'm gone. Pack it up for the day instantly. But when I was younger, I would just keep playing through the pain and then I'd be like, dude, why does my hand hurt? So stupid, bro. After a few weeks of putting in a lot of effort, I kind of had a moment where I was like, holy shit, bro. I'm way better than I ever was in 2018. And like I've said a bunch, this means the world to me. To this day, I still can't believe it, but it was finally time to set a top play after almost 7 years.
The final chapter. My new top play.
After getting a new mouse for Christmas, it was GG, bro. Shit was serious now. It was time to make this happen. Although I believed I was more than capable of playing way above a 300 PP level, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be for 2 reasons. The first reason being nerves. Not long after I started grinding for my top play, I kind of realized there's probably no chance it's going to be an FC / a score I'm actually proud of. During this one session, I was on pace to get a top play from the map Caffeine Fighter, but instead all I ended up getting was a new heart rate PB. How the actual f do I clutch up an FC with 171 heart rate? It literally seems impossible to me. So yeah, I had to change my strategy a bit, and I started playing maps that would give way more than 300, so I could choke like I usually do, but finesse off the miscount. And on January 3rd, 2025, it finally happened. Almost 7 years in the making. That's it. Breaking the 300 PP / top play barrier was my initial goal, but not gonna lie, I didn't really feel much fulfillment from this play. A 96 AC 2 miss on a 30-second map, it kinda meant nothing to me, bro. A huge weight was lifted off my shoulders by proving to myself all these years later that I still got it, but the play itself, I don't know, man. It wasn't one I was really proud of. 10 days later, on January 13th, 2025, on that same map, I ended up doing this. Texans. What did you just do?
Oh my God, qwak. Wow.
Wait, what the fuck?
367 PP. Now that's what I'm talking about. On top of that, I got my first 7-star FC, which is really badass. I'm happy with the accomplishment, but even after FCing the map, it still didn't do much for me outside of the initial excitement. But this play confirmed it. I'm back, and I'm better than I ever was. I still can't believe I came back and FC'd a 7-star map, but I'm so hungry for way more. I still have yet to get an FC that I'm really proud of. I think that my hero score from 2020 is the last play I set that I was proud of, so that's what's next on the agenda. I've been trying to FC Darkflight Dreamer, but I just can't keep it together, but this is an FC I've wanted since 2018. I don't want to stop there though. I'm coming back and grinding for all of my dream FCs from 2018. Some of these plays were PP records at the time. Some of my dream plays include Remote Control Hidden Double Time, Road of Resistance Crimson Rebellion, and Tengaku, just to name a few. When shit like Remote Control was PP record, not for a second did I ever think that'd be a score I could get, but these days where kids are raised at AIM Labs headquarters to piss out 1000s, I see no reason why I can't get that score. There's been multiple moments where I'm playing one of these Dream FC maps, and I cook the tiniest bit, and I just can't help myself from giggling and grinning ear to ear. Just the thought of, yo, give me 3 months to practice on this. Like, what would this look like after 3 months? Just the thought of that gets me so excited. Look at me fucking go! I mentioned earlier how me ending up back on Osu felt like fate. If you aren't buying it, listen to this, bro. I have a homie who in 2018 was pretty much the only person I would talk Osu with. We both stopped playing and eventually lost contact. What are the chances that our peak ranks are a day apart, bro? And we both come back at the same time to grind for 4-digit. Still not buying it? How about this one? For several years, I've severely struggled with substance addiction. I'm diagnosed with some substance abuse bullshit. No idea what it's called. I've gone back and forth quitting and then relapsing for years now. Ever since a relapse in May 2021, 2024, I've tried countless times to quit and I just haven't been able to get it right. Fast forward to now, there was a big problem. For me at least, it's kind of hard to play a rhythm game at your peak level when you're trashed at 3 p.m. every single day. It took a lot of tries, but I'm proud to say I finally got it right. I'm a month sober from alcohol and 1 week sober from smoking. And there's absolutely no shot I would have been able to quit if it weren't for Osu. So yeah, I guess I quit drugs to play more Osu. Kinda baller. But I don't know, man. If that's not fate, then I don't know what is. Regardless of how we got here, I couldn't be happier about how things played out. Shout out to Radial and Reptar for inspiring me to play Osu again. Shout out to Diplo and Gorilla for tolerating my nonstop Osu yapping in their DMs every single day. Shout out to my boy TW4L for being my GOAT. Shout out to Spare for coaching me. Shout out to Namirin and Atarashi Gakko. Without their music, I don't think we would have ended up here. Thank you for watching. BTMC, please collab. Okay, bye.